So now we're going to move to legitimacy. Like I said earlier, we have 18 basic concepts of government. So this is number 3, legitimacy. Legitimacy is the act of being lawful or working in line with the stated constitution of the country. That is when a government works in line with the law of the land. Now, in looking at legitimacy, there are some factors that determine a government being legitimate. We have about 7 here on the board. We have popular participation, popular support, good governance, foreign diplomacy, historic colonial experience, then we have national symbols, and 7 leadership. Before we move on, this word legitimacy is from a Latin word meaning legitimus, like you see on the board. Legitimus. Legitimus. So when translated in English is legitimacy. So let's move on now with the factors. Popular participation or democracy is one factor that determines legitimacy. Okay? The different political group, pressure group, their participation determine if it is what? Lawful. Because a non-legitimate government cannot be said to be lawful. So various interest group or political party, when they take part in it or when they are allowed to do so, will determine if it was legitimate. Now the second one the number 2 has to do with popular support. A government is said to have popular support where majority of those in a country support its government and the party receive popular support from the country in an election. That government is said to be legitimate. Then good governance. Good governance is another factor that determines legitimacy, whereby the government work hand in hand with its citizens, fulfilling each and every, and if not each and every, the major proposal, the major need of the citizen, what they propose as being their needs and even their wants. If it's provided, we can say that that government is legitimate, because the reason why government is put into place is to provide essential service for each citizen, their needs, their wants, and listen to their cry. So if the government is able to fulfill this thing, we can see that that government is legitimate. Then foreign diplomacy or foreign policies. Foreign policies or diplomacy, the particular policy a country adopts will determine how legitimate or how lawful that government is. For example, a government that supports pushing cocaine, can that government be said to be lawful? Undermining that cocaine is harmful to the health and pushing of it to many countries apart from the country accepted to is unlawful. So any government who adopts such thing, such policy, or a country that permits human trafficking, such governments cannot be said to be lawful. So the country's foreign diplomacy or policy will affect it being a legitimate country. So mind you here, legitimacy is focused on government now. Okay? So being lawful, we're always challenging to government. Now the historic or colonial experiences. For a country to be lawful, it must already adopt policies from its colonial master. An example of countries who were colonized, we have the Africans, we have Latin American. Okay, they were being colonized, and for them to be legitimate, the laws, the policy, and how they move on after being colonized shows that they are legitimate, they are lawful. They have adopted policy that have suited them into independence, and they are no longer colonized. Now, another aspect, national symbol. This is an integral and important factor in legitimacy. National symbol includes the flag, the anthem, the coat of arms, and other national symbol. Basically, we have the flag. It's important. The national anthem, very important. So these things are the national symbol and even their international passports. Okay, these things are very important. It shows how lawful an individual is and it affects the country. It's a means to identify a citizen of a country. So every government put these things in place, and for you to have this thing as a means of identification shows that that nation is being lawful. You cannot just badge into that nation. So national symbols are very important when talking about legitimacy. Then 7, leadership. Being lawful in leadership, this is when a government, the ruling government, enter government through a very rightful means. Let's give an example. A government that did not enter the power of authority with the use of fraud, stealing of ballot boxes, imposition of any candidate, that government is not lawful. But a government who is lawful or legitimate has entered power using rightful means, and in this aspect the military government is cancelled because they are not legitimate. They use force, coercion, so they're using military authority wrongly. Okay, so let's go on it. Legitimacy is said to be the state of being lawful or being lawful in government. I said that it's from a word called legitimus, a Latin word. It's coined from that word. Okay, and I said there are factors that determine legitimacy. I said political participation. If a political party or a pressure group are participating in that government, they take part, active part, not just any part, but active part in, we can say that it's lawful. Then popular support, which work in hand with political participation too. I also said 3, good governance, that when a government is able to fulfill each and every, and if not each and every, the major providing essential service to its citizen, that government is said to be lawful because it's giving out to the citizen what it's sent to do as sitting in the government. Then for I said foreign diplomacy or policy can also affect or determine legitimacy of a government. If they take a wrong policy, it will show that that government is not lawful or keeping to law. Then 5, I said historic colonial experiences. I gave example of countries who have been colonized and how they move on affect them being legitimate. Then 6, I mentioned national symbol. That national symbol is a means to show that one is lawful. If you are in possession of those things, it shows that you are lawful, and the country that imposes its citizens are also lawful because you used to identify the citizen as a citizen of that country. Then 7, I said leadership. In leadership, I also mentioned that if a government or the government in seat go there through lawful means without stealing or forcing itself into government, that government can be said to be legitimacy. So basically, these 7 affects or determines the legitimacy of a country. Now, this is legitimacy, the number 3 basic concept of government. Now, I'm going to move to number 4, sovereignty. Sovereignty is the 4th concept. Of governments. So let's see. Under sovereignty, we're going to see limitations of sovereignty in a state, characteristic, type, location of sovereignty. It's very important because we're going to be hearing more of sovereignty. This concept, we're going to be hearing them, so it's very good for us to know what we're talking about. So let's go. We'll talk about characteristics. First one, I want to talk about characteristics. I'm going to talk about type, location, and I said limitation of the states. 3. Location. 4. Limitation. Okay, so let's see what sovereignty is. The meaning. Sovereignty is defined as absolute power of a state, and sovereignty also has to do with the supreme legal authority over its own affair and its territory. This affects the boundary. So the boundary of a country also has to do with its sovereignty, where it exercises power and jurisdiction over can be said to be the sovereignty of a state. Mind you, in government, we use states when talking about government or a country. It does not mean that geographical location, that small place, states. So knowing this, we want to know what a person who exercises sovereignty is called. It's called a sovereign. Okay? This policy was introduced by a French philosopher, Jean Bodin, in the year, and lived through this period, 1530 to 1596. And during that period, he was able to bring other philosophers that develop other notable policies. And we have example of hobbies. We have example of hobbies. We have another example of eukaryoting. We have John Austin, Dyson Bating, and a lot more. So these were notable men that observed this policy. And let's take John Austin. Okay, so these policies were further developed by these men, notable men, and we'll see what they write about them in further classes. Okay, knowing this, the meaning and who exercises a sovereignty, what is called. We said it's a sovereign, and we said the French philosopher that adopted this policy in the year, he lived during this period 1530 to 1596. I want to mention names of men who later developed these policies. Now I want to see the characteristics of sovereignty. The major one, or one of the most important one, we have absoluteness. We also have permanency. We have indivisibility, comprehensiveness, inalienability, absence of foreign control. When we say sovereignty is absolute, that is to say that it has the right and power, it has the final say to exercise both the power and authority and capacity in its location, as we learn what location is. We also say that permanency, where sovereignty is being exercised, it has an system of long tenureship during as it is exercised in the government, and its official may change or may not change, as the case may be, and it's indivisible. That is, you cannot divide them. When I mean indivisible, is this one. That's indivisibility. The power of a sovereignty is the final and cannot be changed. We have comprehensiveness. It is wide in scope, and it is binding on everybody as far you are in that geographical location, and is inalienable. That is to say that it cannot be transferred from one person to another, and if it's transferred, it's hard to regain, and it has absence of foreign control. Okay, it has the supreme power to control the state. Now let's see the first one we've mentioned. So it's permanent. So let's see. It's indivisible, always united. It cannot be divided. It cannot be divided, and it is comprehensive. That is to say that as far you are in that place, that location, its law is what binding on you. All embraces it, and its inalienability. I also said that the power cannot be transferred from one person to another, and it's also absence of foreign control. As far it is that sovereignty, like I said, it is binding on the boundaries of the country. It does not extend that boundary, the control of sovereignty, and other people cannot do what to control it. So it's absence of foreign control. So we can see that in a colonial rule, sovereignty is not maintained because there's always foreign control. So sovereignty can only be exercised by independent countries or independent states, to say it. So there are basically about 6 characteristics. We have indivisibility, comprehensiveness, inalienability, absence of foreign control, absoluteness, permanency. This should be noted. Like I always say, if you listen very well to the definition of a particular topic, you get the characteristics, you get the merits, and also what? The demerit. And once you know either a merit or a demerit, you'll be able to understand both of them. One of them can get the difference. So always have that in your mind. So having known this, we want to see type of sovereignty, which is our number 2 bullet points. Type of sovereignty. So let's have them on the board. Now, number 1 on that type, which is the first one. We have legal. We have legal. We have political. That's number 2. We have de facto. Four, we have de jure. Five, we have internal, and 6, we have external. Okay. Okay. So under the types of sovereignty, we have legal. This legal sovereignty has to do with those, its power and authority are engraved in the constitution of a country. Like I say, anytime you hear the word legal, first put your mind in the part of law, constitution. Okay? So this sovereignty, the power and authority is engraved in constitution. So it's based on constitutionalism. Then 2, we have political. This has to do with sovereignty that is based on the supreme body of government that is vested with that power and authority. Then 3, de facto. This is sovereignty that is based on the armed forces, military, and this go by force, not by law or by the political authority. It go by force. While we have the jury, this authority accords law and oppose force. So we can say there is non-force. So if you are giving the jury and you are giving de facto, so you can note something. One include the use of force and the other does not include the use of force. So it's just like a military and a civilian rule. Let's get it. De facto make use of force and it's under the armed forces, while the jury does not no existence of force and is unlike these first two. The first one gets its power and authority or sovereignty from the constitution law. Then the second one, political, is vested on the supreme body of government. Okay, why this one make use of the armed force and this one is neutral, no force. The internal sovereignty has to do with law affairs within the territory. Internal, inside. Okay, internal is what? Inside the country. Sovereignty exercised inside that country, while external sovereignty has to do with outside, foreign. Okay, international, outside that country. Sovereignty exercised outside a particular country, so we can say it's foreign interference.